think this church took a big hit in the Second World War, and I did have to do community service here in the big Great Train Stoppers incident. More police than the Great Train Robbers incident. Mark Simpson, and you can see it on Google. Criminal Review Commission did take up my case, as he clearly acted outside the execution of his duty. Mark Simpson, transport copper, big gorilla, 6 foot plus, throwing his weight around, off duty. Certainly acting outside the execution of his duty, so I did have to back him off, which triggered the big train stoppers incident just outside this. So a £5 train journey. I reckon that I used too much force to back the big gorilla off, who was trying to shove my face in a heater and then try to get his big gorilla hands round my throat, but I only used appropriate force in self-defence. And the Criminal Review Commission again did take up my case, said clearly from the evidence of his own witnesses he acted outside the execution of his duty, and that was battery towards myself. But the Magistrate Court, 2 Crown Court cases, the Red Robe judge saying he couldn't have me take down the Transport Police, Anglia Railways, so I was made to take the fall. So a £5 train journey cost me £2,000 in court costs, loss of earners. Had to do 80 hours community service, even had to pay him £100 compensation because he lost a button off his his gal's blouse. Again, big transport motorcycle copper on his way to London. So when you do get stitched up by the authorities, and I'd say £2,000 at that time, I could have gone on a world cruise. So you will get totally stitched up and rolled over, and they would not even consider the findings from the Criminal Review Commission. Again, he said clearly from the evidence of his own witnesses proved that he acted outside the execution of his duty, and that was battery towards myself, and I was only acting in self-defence. So I did have to do 80 hours community service here, clearing up this churchyard in the past. No justice, just us. Like I say, the big loophole that they found, they claimed that I used too much force to back him off me because he ended up upside down in the seats, but I didn't. I used appropriate force in self-defence. Big gorilla. Like I say, he had his legs against the seats. It didn't take much just for him to lose his balance, and I did even break his fall by holding him, so as he went down. That's how he lost the button off his gal's blouse. I had to pay him £100 compensation for. So. And that's always where it's really wrong, when you do get stitched up left, right and centre by the corrupt powers to be, the legal system, Transport Police. And what was amusing too, because we did jump off the train just before the police stormed the train. They thought they were the SAS, Navy SEALs. Running through the train, slamming all the doors, clear. Running around the train, looking on top of the train. We just stood in the field watching them running around like headless chickens. I did make it home. That was the early morning train, 5:30 in the morning, or 5 o'clock from Norwich to this, 20-mile train journey. And I did get a knock on the door at 10:30, come down to my Y front so they could see I wasn't armed or loaded or anything, just stood there in my Y fronts, and they knocked on the door and said, "You know why we're here?" And I said, "Well, hope you ain't all come round for breakfast." There's normally 3 or 4 coppers. Now I had the one at the back, very amusing. Called some other police, get round the back, cover the back, and I said, "Well, where does he think I'm going in my Y front? Does he think I'm running around this in my Y front?" I really don't think so. So they sent 13 police officers to arrest me because this SS police had said that I was the mad psycho serial killer. Again, I really don't think so. So 13 police officers sent to arrest me. They did come in a big show of force. They weren't prepared. Again, a red robe, High Court judge in the Crown Court. Went to Magistrate, Crown Court, then back into Crown Court as the Criminal Review Commission took up my case. Just wouldn't consider the truth or even look at the statements of his own witnesses. Again, that proved that he acted outside the execution of his duty. And he weren't in uniform. You get a big gorilla wake you up and trying to shove your face in the heater and then trying to get his big gorilla hands around your throat, and you're certainly going to back that person off. And in the magistrate court, they found me guilty because I didn't show any remorse. I said, well, of course I don't show any remorse. So if I walk out of this court and someone jumps on my back and then tries to shove my face in a heater and tries to strangle me with their big gorilla hands, I'm obviously going to back them off. So that's why I was found guilty in the magistrate. That's how where their decisions are. So I did appeal and go to Crown Court. And we did have another situation with 11 police officers in Mere Street. That was another big classic. And they attacked me from behind, smacking my head on the concrete and on the wall, knocked a tooth out, and then claimed that I attacked them. Again, I really don't think so. Claimed I tried to punch, kick and headbutt them. Certainly wasn't the case. And again, that went to Thetford Magistrate Court when that was open, a special trial. They brought in a special judge, 2-day trial. One day at Thetford and one day at Swaffham. 11 police officers, and you would have thought that one police officer had written one statement and photocopied the other 10 statements. Their case was so watertight. When I arrived at court, again 11 police officers there with their barristers, and you going down, Botwright? I said, well, we'll see. But what that overlooked was a man standing in Siddle's shoe shop doorway waiting for a lift from his wife, who saw what really happened and was absolutely appalled at what he saw me subjected to. And he came up to me and dissed. I didn't even realise he was there. I didn't know he was there. And so I said, would you be prepared to be a witness for me? Because they reckon that I claimed I attacked them. He said, no, they attacked you from behind. And he said, and what I saw you subjected to was appalling. So when at the court, and these police had overlooked this man standing in the shop doorway, and when they suddenly realised that I had a credible witness that could prove that their 11 statements were false, the duty solicitor went and told their barrister, and just call Cleo, Joe. Cleo!
This way. This way.
So at the court, at the trial, just before it was going to start, they suddenly dropped all charges. And the duty solicitor had looked at the case and said to me, Johnny, whatever you do, you're looking at 6 to 12 months in prison, but whatever you do, don't appeal and go to Crown Court, because you'll get twice the time. I said, well, we'll see, and then told him I had a credible witness who could prove that they were lying, that they attacked me and I certainly didn't attack them. So again, at the trial, they suddenly dropped all charges and I was free to go. And the one who was roughing me up the most, I did back him off, and I was handcuffed at the time also, so I had to knee him in the groin to back him off. That's how my police report. Bruise into his inner thigh. But that's the only way I could back the one off who was roughing me up the most. So I don't know how many people have need a police officer in the groin to back them off when they're being roughed up by that police officer and then walk free from a court. But if that man hadn't, Cleo, come on. But if that man hadn't been in that shop doorway and saw what really happened, then I would have gone to prison for 6 to 12 months on police fabricated evidence. So like I say, I'm no stranger to police frames and fixes, switches, monster lies and bogus diagnoses. Certainly not mine. No Black Panther, serial killer here, Africa, Norwich and Sandringham. All to cover up a high royal blue crime, blue murder, certainly not mine. See Prince Harry the Spare for details. That's Joe and Claire there. Joe's been having a tooth put on her plate that fell out, so bless her, she do look a bit like Nanny McPhee. Come on, Cleo, move your butt. And plenty of planes flying around. Sometimes innocent men do have to go, run, fly, disappear, follow your golden compass. We do get boxed up, locked up, or done in, disappeared one way or another. But again, all to cover up high crimes, blue murder, frames and fixes, switches, monster lies and bogus diagnoses, and certainly not mine. And as always, that is all online for the world to see free. Millions of views, the truth versus a big monster lie. Two parallel stories, Africa, Norwich and Sandringham, that the corrupt powers to be want you to believe are true. Again, I have the truth and they have the big monster lie that everyone must conform, comply, consent, obey and confess is true. But no Black Panther, serial killer here. No Black Cat copycat, Black Cat of Burston, son of Sam. Sandringham serial killer here, Black Wizard terrorist, this shoe, that's a big old oak tree there. Royal oak, that looks like it's died, looks like it's had something's took it out. Again now, high royal oak, royal blue crime, New Year's Day find, Royal Sandringham estate killing fields, late Prince Philip's favourite hunting area, certainly not mine, and as always, not me leaving the body of a 17-year-old sex trafficked girl on the Royal Sandringham estate killing fields. Again, see Prince Harry the Spare for details. Prince of Darkness, E.T. hybrid host, Red Dragons. Their high crime, case 39, Dr. Sleep, Jack the Ripper crime. Certainly not mine. No Here's Johnny here. One big black axe hatchet job. Saw trap in Norfolk, UK. Can see Burster Mill, Pages and Co. This Woodyard. This Parish Fields Not So Healthy Centre, all related. Certainly can see my ex-wife, Schaefer Turtle. Fire End Burston, Big Police Council. Doctor Whom collaboration. Inspector Numbnuts Bunton. Mr. Fixer, liar, pants on fire, and as always, two blatant lies from a police inspector, far bigger than Plebgate. And I do have the evidence, do have the letter, do have the proof in black and white, written by Peacock, signed by Inspector Numbnuts Bunton, Mr. Fixer, liar, pants on fire. So they certainly will fix you one way or another, make you disappear, all to cover up high crimes. Blue murder, certainly not mine. You certainly can see Simon Bailey Don't Cry and his blonde host plainclothes lover, not true detective, with her partner also, not true detectives. All full of mad monster lies, bogus diagnosis. Death threats in Norfolk, UK, so certainly why you do have to go, run, fly, disappear. Follow your golden compass.